And goat yoga on the rooftop in the garden.
Yes. See, this is why food security is good.
Right? Food security matters.
How do people get involved with food security? You know, a lot of what we've talked about tonight is different initiatives, ways to identify food security, ways to think about food security. But I'm ready to act. So what do I do? In your opinion?
In my opinion.
And I'm just one person, right? And, you know, because as we say, there's a million ways to get involved.
Yeah, I think food councils are really where it's at the community level to get involved and to join other people that are like-minded and want to work on similar issues and topics as you do. Because the food council here is doing so many different things. So if there isn't one, you can start one in your community, or you can get involved here in Brandon.
Absolutely, yes. I certainly think looking at community organizations is one of the biggest steps. And I think even before people, if they don't feel confident to do that or aren't sure where to look, contact us at the Brandon Food Council or any food council, and they'll certainly help you identify ways or things to think about in your own community. Probably one of the biggest ways to get involved, I would say, is to ask questions about your food, where it comes from, the cost of food, what causes the cost of food, so where do the costs come from, why do ingredients travel so far, how is it that I cause the demand for increased food miles or an increased carbon footprint when I'm buying a lot of transnational foods. Why aren't I eating more local food? I think there's a lot of just personal questions that people can reflect on for a very long time that do actually have real change in the food system. The more of us that ask, why don't we eat local food more often, the more emphasis that we'll put on local food producers, and the more support it will give local food producers. So I definitely agree that an amazing first step, and if people are so lucky to have a food council in their city, that's an amazing first step to get involved. But if you don't, you can still question and ask, why is the food system the way it is, and still have effect doing that and discussing it with your neighbors, and maybe even starting your own community garden and building bonds. Did you have any more ideas that you wanted to add to the discussion or suggestions for viewers?
I would say I'm so impressed with ACC and the farm to table kind of circular approach that you're taking here. Growing food in the garden and then bringing that into your culinary education. I think the more that we can effectively use our resources and contribute to this really circular economy, I think that'll really go a long way to have less waste. And just healthier people, healthier planet.
I absolutely agree. To kind of look at that direct link between, as you said, food being medicine and food being central to our health as a community, and looking at how that system functions within a community is really key. And also, you've alluded to this, and I opened saying that I focus on food culture. Supplying adequate food for the different cultures that exist within the community is important. So, you know, if we just grow green beans, then we've just got a ton of green beans that no one eats. We really do have to make an effort to ask what is the foodscape of our neighbors. What do we need to grow? You know, maybe we should grow eggplant, or maybe we should grow bitter melon, or maybe we should grow lots of other plants that grow beautifully here in Manitoba. And again, share those kind of experiences with each other as well, and teach each other about these different amazing foods and how people cook them, how people grow them. So I think that's a really key piece too. I don't have any more questions. You'll be relieved, Olivia, except for the back page. Thank you for agreeing to have this discussion. It's, you know, food security is a difficult thing to talk about, and it's a huge issue. So it's even difficult to start talking about food security, but it's so crucial to not be scared of thinking about food security and to really engage with it. So I really appreciate the perspectives that you brought tonight.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm so glad that you had me here.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will actually be working, preparing a second episode related to cooking food security. So instead of just talking about it, Olivia and I will actually be in the kitchen, and we'll be looking at food security, I think, with a budget focus. So looking at what does a limited budget look like when you're actually in the kitchen, left with the ingredients, and it's time to cook. So that's another interesting question. It's a different approach to food security, and we're really looking forward to sharing that with everyone. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Olivia, again, and have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.